Welcome back. I hope you're ready to get your drink on, because we ended in the tavern, and I have my fingers crossed for some barroom antics. I can hardly contain myself. Let's see how things are going.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Darkhounds. So, we left off and you were all hanging out, or no, sorry, not all of you. The two of you were hanging out in the inn, getting some information gathering going on. Jorell was...
enjoying nature and by the oak tree.
Yeah, that's right, the oak tree. And you were getting your knowledge on.
I'm relearning my connection.
Going to church.
Going to church.
So, I'm going to leave you all wherever you are. You tell me what you're doing. There will be no force pushes here.
Probably be drinking.
And
And
then
then
get a drink on.
I would like drinking for courage, basically. and then start talking to you, Tristan, and say, I don't understand why you were gonna leave, but please don't try again.
Or I will find you. I will kill you.
And there's anger and sadness in her voice.
There was a lot going on. But I'm here to the end.
Good.
Keep it
Have a
that
choice.
Who's?
No, I'll probably just be out playing with my staff. That's all powered up again. Yeah. I keep doing the whole looking back at the tree no.
But maybe?
Then I'll kind of look down and be like, I'll cast Awaken on flower. I'll sit up there and start doing Awakening on a flower just because I'm
sunflower. Start singing to you. Exactly.
Yeah, so he has to awaken on the flower and just start swaying in the wind.
I was actually going to ask if maybe he casts Awaken on the
Zeke
oak.
versus plants.
Hello? And the oak tree just kind of shifts a little bit and goes, "You're too late." It's already awakened. It's just hanging out.
Well, yeah, what's funny is I was actually waiting for him to do it because it is already awakened. I'm just like, well, he's going to lose that for the day.
No, I can do it twice.
Oh, twice, okay.
But that'll take up my entire day.
Yeah.
But I just figured, no. As evening settles in, I'm finishing up Awakening a flower. Hey, little buddy.
Starts talking to the tree.
Hi.
I'm going to call you Rupert.
That name sounds not pretty.
I want a pretty name.
Bear.
Reginald.
I'm a pretty flower. You should name me Skunk.
Skunk.
Sorry, I couldn't go. I had to go reverse Bambi. You can call me Skunk if you want to.
Would you like to be called Skunk?
Sure, that sounds pretty.
All right, Skunk. Come. I'll put Skunk up on my shoulder. Little vine legs gonna crawl up onto my shoulder.
Yeah, he's just like Groot dancing, like at the end of the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
So I'll hang out. I'll talk to Skunk. Until bedtime.
And then you go to sleep and it's still talking. Having a voice is great. I really like talking. There's so many things I've wanted to say, like, I smell great.
I like being alive. Oh, I like being alive. Oh, I like being alive. I like being alive. I like being alive.
I figure flowers kind of at night when the sun goes down, they kind of Ah! The sun! We lost the sun!
Just freaks out. Where'd the sun go? I have no source of food or energy!
Skunk, did you just pollinate my my shoulder.
Sorry.
I got a bee came along and it was awful.
Or someone else comes along and like picks a flower and is like, and then does like the whole like head pop off thing, like a kid, like, oh, mama had a baby and his head popped off.
Monster!
Quick! Resurrection!
Do you all decide to settle in for the night?
Until they kick me out. Unless they were willing to talk to me till the wee hours.
The Church of CERN is never closed. They just change shifts.
Yes, that's a great question. Let me introduce you to Paul.
Oh, I'm gonna go.
I need a
get some
breather.
sleep
They tag in
and
someone else.
Tag this guy in. Yeah.
He's a machine.
Hey,
9 hours straight.
Yes, Jorell's going to temporarily channel his inner Vondale and sleep underneath the giant oak tree.
That's right. Sleeping outdoors like a druid should. The tavern is open late, of course, because it is a freaking tavern. And eventually it would get to a point where Trisha would... Do you guys want to get a room here? Or are you staying at the guild hall?
well, I think they offered for us to stay at the guild hall.
Okay. I know it's getting late. I'm not trying to kick anyone out. Please feel free to drink to your heart's content.
I'm trying.
Just making sure that if you needed a room, we had that all in order for you for when you're ready to go pass out.
I'll get up and go to the guild hall.
I'll go as well.
There's a different person behind the desk. Some, looks like you quickly get the impression some sort of fledgling arcane caster. There's some like, prestidigitation! Sparkles! Yes! Oh, whew. Oh, people are trying to sleep. Oh. Yeah, if you're looking for I was told to give you guys rooms. They're down this hall. Direction to the first hall on the right. I haven't seen any of your friends come through, but they have rooms too. And yeah.
Thank you. And,
Breakfast is served at dawn, so if you want breakfast, you gotta be up early. I'm not a fan. Because they put me on the night shift. I think people are tired of watching me do fabulous things with the sparkles.
He spends all of his
Hat! Rabbit! Ta-da!
free time watching like YouTube videos to learn new tricks.
Coin trick. Oh! It was back there the whole time! Cleric! So, the next day, it is dawn. You hear a, not so loud, but a dinging of a bell at dawn. Which you presume, again, you were warned that there would be a bell for meals, so there is breakfast available in the guild hall for anyone interested. I don't know if you decided to stay at the...
As long as I can.
Yeah, they were going to let you go like, oh yeah,
probably
by
start
the light of
getting
CERN,
exhausted.
even when there's no freaking light out. Yeah, we'll fucking do this thing all night.
actually, having
I
this
don't
night
have a
shift
ton
would
of
be
time,
more like,
so.
we have something to do?
A bear that wants to learn about CERN?
Normally we sleep during our shift. Normally we don't have to do anything.
Tell me
When morning would come along, I might start getting hungry when I hear my belly start rumbling a little bit.
Make your way over to the guild hall.
Yeah.
Tell me, my child, have they taught you of CERN's most sacred game, Texas Hold'em?
And yes, dawn approaches. The oak tree shields your eyes from the morning rays. But you hear Skunk, get up, it's a new day. The sun came out, I'm so happy, yay.
Good morning.
Alright, come on. I need to go get some food.
Just live off of the sunlight. The sunlight.
I do. Very often.
Yeah. Photosynthesis. Yeah. You've learned big words while I was sleeping.
It's as though you were talking to something else.
Yes. The great grandfather over here. He teach me good. So you all make your way to the mess hall. There is breakfast. It's very much kind of like the army mess hall kind of deal. Like, you know, you get in line. There's some other people with trays. You get your eggs and your bacon and whatever else you want on the line. And there's maybe like a dozen other adventurers spread out through it. It's a very large mess hall, but there's only maybe a dozen adventurers up in the
Mizr
room.
gets a tray, comes up to the buffet, comes up to the bacon, takes a couple pieces of bacon, puts it on the tray.
Grabs the
Takes them on.
Puts the plate back, grabs the tray of bacon.
Actually, yeah, I'll come in and you'll see me like sit down with a tray of nothing but meat. Just like be eating bacon.
bacon.
Try not to offend my new friend here. We'll get to that.
I was gonna say,
Like just like
normally you would
meat
think-
and like eggs, just like that's it.
normally
Yeah,
you'd think the
breakfast.
druid would have just like leafy greens, but I don't want to scare the new child.
But yeah, you will see a little flower perched on my shoulder, like looking around curiously.
There's no sun in here,
Oh,
but I'm still pretty jazzed up from the morning rays.
I'll like dip my fingers in some water and like flick it on him.
He's like
Herbal essence.
like flipping his petals.
He's named himself Skunk, so if you'd like to have any conversation with him, by all means.
It's because I smell great.
Yes, because Skunk smells great.
It sounded good. It sounded like a pretty name.
Our party's increased by 1. Skunk's gonna get class levels soon. Skunk the Barbarian Flower.
Like that scene with Groot in the freaking second one. It's just like little baby Groot charging.
I immediately went to Warlock.
You will feel my dark power. At first it's like, you'll feel my dark. It's like, power. So, I don't know about the rest of you, but I vote Shimmering Voice.
What?
Lovely.
That would be very strange. I look forward to seeing where I came from.
Oh, that's why you want to go? Oh, well, we can do that too.
Well, I believe that, if there's such a blight on this land around, I don't understand why there are no ambassadors, why the bears are not assisting LowWater. What's happened to these, my family, my clans? It seems odd that none would be assisting more or helping with the blight on this land. I agree, I think Shimmering Forces would be great. After a nap.
Breakfast coma.
All this greasy bacon made me not feel so good. Does Neriah confirm the vote?
Mm-hmm.
And in between talking and stuff, I do keep mentioning different random facts about CERN that I learned. Some of them are probably spouted off wrong or slightly
Just
wrong.
like a kid
Some
that went to
things-
school, and I learned
Right.
today, Mom, that like green is
Now I
actually
know
yellow and blue put
everything.
together, and blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's nice. Yep.
Do you
Okay.
know there's a difference between baking powder and baking soda?
I had that happen one time. I had a substitute teacher who was talking about the water filtration process and was apparently very wrong because my father, he works at a wastewater treatment plant as so he goes, "Oh, really? I'm going to make a phone call."
You teach my kids wrong. So yes, you finish your breakfast, you can get a nap if you'd like, and you're free to check in with anyone, talk to anyone, or leave whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I go back outside after I'm done, just wait for everybody
I
else.
like the training.
I will learn to swing this sword pretty damn good. So, also, after you all have had your breakfast and you've all had your coffee or whatever it is you need to fully wake up, you're fully finish your routines, you've all noticed this is actually the first time you've gotten a good night rest in a while, because you guys hadn't slept technically since you left the Copper Dragontail Guild. So like you left there, went through the Feywild,
Jet lag.
showed up here. So I hadn't slept in a little while. It wasn't like 3 or 4 days or anything like that, but it had been a little while. You accomplished some stuff since the last time you slept. And some of you have newly acquired items since the last time you slept. The 2 of you. Actually, you got your item right before you left also. So all 3 of you just recently got your second item there. And Neriah hasn't had her other item for very long either. When you woke up the next morning...
God, they melded into us too?
Something seemed off. And you quickly realized, like, the 2 that stood out, didn't stand out as much to you, because, I mean, you're wearing your armor. Though you went to sleep, but you didn't sleep.
Right.
So, I mean, like, you went to sleep in the armor, but you didn't go to sleep.
Right.
The 2 of you, again, you have your staff, you have your axe, but when you woke up, they were not there. You feel like when you first woke up, they weren't there. But then, like, you, like, rubbed your eyes and, okay, yeah, they were there, fine, great. Over the course of breakfast, you all hear like, a whispering in your head. You all hear your respective others, as I'm kind of jokingly calling them. And when you go to grab your staff again after breakfast, when you go to grab your axe again after breakfast, you're presumably wearing your sword on your back the whole time. You feel them, like, start to... tingle, I guess you could say, where you make contact with them. So what ends up happening, kind of like as you were saying, like they start slowly, like your staff's in your hand, and then you see your ring symbiote thing kind of start crawling up out of your hand and start wrapping around the staff. You see it start doing it to your axe. You can feel Ulna kind of crawling up your back and grabbing at the sword. You just feel yourself tingling all over.
No!
You're all very familiar at this point with, like, kind of feeling it, you know, your others move around within yourself a little bit, you know, whether you're controlling it or whatever's going on.
Really? I figured Raglatonin did his own thing and...
Yeah, well, again, for those that can control it.
Locked himself in his room like an angsty teenager, just like, I want to talk to you! Just played his emo music really loud.
So yeah, you're sitting there, you're finishing up breakfast, and all of a sudden in the middle of the mess hall, you see some of, you know, like, as you guys are kind of feeling this, like, some of you might be brushing it off, some of you might, and, you know, that's your choice on how you're reacting to it. But the other adventurers, a couple of them, not all of them, notice something. And you hear them, what the hell? And they quickly stand up and they back up.
From us?
Yeah, back away from you guys. And you're all able to see each other. You see, again, like, your symbiotish kind of stuff manifesting itself and wrapping itself around said items. So again, you're wearing your armor or whatever, but it's kind of oozing out from different cracks and stuff and kind of slowly wrapping itself around it. And in unison, even though you can't hear the others, but in unison between all 4 of them, you hear, like, let it become one with us. And you can feel it start pulling the energy of the magic items in to you, into your persons. It doesn't happen instantaneously. It is a little bit of a process.
Yeah, definitely be like, Henry, we need to have an actual talk, Mr. Talky Poo. You've never been this assertive about anything.
Let it join with us.
Yeah, I don't think you understand. This is not yours. This is mine.
And I am yours, whether I like it or not.
Yes, well, okay. You know, I don't care what the rest of you all do with yours, but you and I? No. This is mine.
It's ours. Ours. Let me have it.
Yes, that's not happening.
So you actually feel it, like, pulling out of you, like, reaching towards the item. It's like, but you've attuned to it. So it's a part of me as much as it's a part of you. Let it become one with us.
It's like Google Sync.
As I said before, it's not happening.
It just wants to sync your devices.
Join the clan.
Roll a charisma save for me, sir.
And is he within range of Mizr's
Yeah.
boost?
Yeah, so he'll get, what was it, +2 from you? Yeah,
Plus 2. Thank God. It's going to be a 13.
Okay. So you're basically fighting it back. It's reaching out, but you kind of fight it back, and it pulls itself back into yourself.
More so, if it kept going, I'm just going to kick the staff away and be like,
Fine! He gets all pissy pants like he does. Whatever. Try to do you a favor. How are the rest of you reacting? Are you
I asked Akabaris what he's doing.
fighting it, or... Okay.
well, for me, it's even more so, like, it's very out of character for Raglatona to be like,
Well, I'm sorry. I mean, symbiotic stuff coming out of the cracks of like, Akabaris, what are you doing?
I'm
All
merging.
right.
Merging. Stronger.
So the armor will be like the mall.
I'll bring it into myself. Yes.
You need me to do anything to help that?
Just let it happen.
Like that tingle. I'm gonna need some alone time. I run down the hall and get Gilgamesh's office.
Alna will kind of be like whispering in your head, like, you know, like I swear, like, this is not malicious. You're like, just
I keep trying to help, but I'm sure
I'm
that
trying
I'm
to
helping.
like I'm just trying to merge with this. You know, you've attuned to it. Like, we're one now, so anything that you attune to, I'm gonna instinctively try to make whole. It's kind of how it's like they're referring to it as like becoming part of us or becoming whole, or as some of the terms that you're hearing kicking around.
This is a gift of the divine, charged with the holy energy. You do realize that taking it into yourself may change the underlying existence of what you are.
We are here to evolve. This will aid that. I am you, you are me, we are one. This will become one with us.
Cuckoo.
so am I hearing these conversations happening here? Well, he ran off with this conversation.
Yeah, you ran.
No, I didn't actually run off. I was just I didn't need alone time. But I would have talked to it in my head. I don't know if they could have heard that or not. But actually, I probably
Yeah,
would've-
so I
probably
mean,
would've said it
they
out
all have their
loud.
different personalities, so they're going to approach it differently and explain it differently. But Alna's going to basically be trying to reassure Neriah that, like, you know, like, you've gotten to know me. I have no malicious intent. I'm like, bringing this sword into me will only make us stronger.
Akabaris probably like, let me do it.
Yeah, Akabaris.
I
Yeah,
wanna
he's
help, I wanna help, I wanna help.
like just. Again, he's a little bit more like, I kind of like think of him as like a little bit more like soldierly. Like, I again have him described as like stoic. So it's like they're just like, just let it happen.
Just let
Like,
me do it.
Just let me do this.
Stop
You
fighting.
won't regret it.
I'd say soldier, but like this is tactically advantageous to both of us.
Saltaris.
Yeah, Saltaris. I always forget your name because we don't use it very often. Because normally you don't talk to your item. For Saltaris, he is again like trying to almost overly explain this. All right, so look,
Please don't
I
really
understand that you're going to be resistant to this, and I know that we're trying to still find our grounds with each other, and I really appreciate that. You know, you've been able to not at least torture me every night. That's a step in the right direction. If you let me bring this into me or us, however you want to look at it, it will enhance our powers. I will absorb its essence, I will absorb its strengths, and it will evolve my and our abilities. I will be able to take in its properties, and we'll be able to... While the axe is powerful on its own, me bringing it into myself or into us, will allow us to push some of those properties in different ways.
And I wanted to understand that, as with the powers of the divine, there may be unintended side effects. And for it to understand that it's doing this of its own free will, and if it winds up... sign off on the disclaimer, understanding that if something happens...
I feel like we're going very Parasite Maxim on this. Like...
So yeah, he's like, I don't know exactly what's going to happen. I can't predict the future. I don't know what this is going to do, but I know that like I'm
It'll work out.
instinctively feeling that this is the right thing to do, that I need to pull this into myself and become one with it. And as your people would say, by the light of CERN, and then it just kind of swallows the axe. It's like, yeah, sure. Raglatona is being up. Just let me do it, God.
You need to tell me why, Mister. This is the first time you've been, forthcoming about much of anything.
It's drawing me. It's taunting me. It wants to. I swear, it wants to. I want it to be a part of me. I want it to be a part of us.
I mean, look at it's taunting me. I mean, look at what it's wearing.
So since
It's just asking for it.
So, what do you think the staff means to me?
I think that this staff, you've had this in your possession before you've had me in your possession. I feel this is important to you and a powerful thing, and it just looks so delicious. And
yes.
if you would just let me, oh great and powerful Jorell, let me consume this item, it will never ever be able to be taken from you or leave your side. You will have these powers at your beck and call, as if the staff was molded to you, as I am. Also, we'll be able to push the boundaries of the staff. We'll be able to do more than the staff could on its own.
Jorell's worried about room. He's already got a stick jammed up there.
Yes, it came in the shape of a ring. It's already its own stick. So, Magnusson, let me get this straight. You want to willingly go after something instead of being locked away in your own little, wherever it is you like to hide away.
It calls to me.
Magical items can call to you.
The power calls to me. I want it.
And if I say no?
You can say no.
Remove curse you!
Your mouth may say no.
Look what I learned from
Tristan.
But I say yes.
In sleep, it speaks to me. In dreams, it can. Voice that calls to me.
No one could ever steal it from you.
Yes.
You'll never be disarmed in combat. You'll never be without its power.
Well, I find myself 9 times out of 10 within the reach of a tree. I'm fairly certain I will always not be disarmed in combat.
I set off my light spell at some point. Whoa, that's neat! Whoa! Starts glowing.
I'm holy.
Well, Raglatona, if you want any part of this staff, you and I are going to have much more meaningful conversations.
Fine. You want to know my favorite color?
It's black. Like your heart.
Is it black like the guy liner you wear?
It's the color of power. No, it's I don't know. What's your favorite color? Yeah, that one.
See, we have stuff in common.
See, we're buddies already.
How are the people who jumped away from us? Are they afraid of us?
They are
gotta
not
look
reacting
freaking-
super great. Yeah.
It's gotta look horrible.
You have like 50 dandelions carrying your staff.
and Skunk like leading the charge with like a little like one of those little cocktail swords. They're like,
yeah, the adventurers, they jump back. A couple of them like started to draw weapons. One of them did draw their weapon, and they're all kind of eyeballing you, but they quickly see that
So one thing I would have tried to
you're
do
in control of the situation
when the light spell came on,
and not acting malicious.
and understanding, some of my control over them all, I try to make the light spell, if possible, go into like a symbol of CERN to see if I have any kind of control over the armor.
You
Even if it-
manifest the light, but you're not able to manipulate the light. You feel like maybe you could,
So I can feel
but
something,
yeah,
okay.
you're not quite able to mold it as of yet.
So the light spell will go off. And, ha-ha! Mizr's obviously very happy about it. They're looking around and everyone drops it. Oh, no, it's fine. It's all of CERN.
Okay. Somebody should probably go tell Gilgamesh about what's going on down here. These guys seem a little shady.
It's all fine.
It's fine.
Does somebody actually do that?
Yes.
I'll look to somebody else. You, lad, grab my stuff. We do need to go speak to Gilgamesh.
Alright, so you all enter the room with Gilgamesh. So, like, what's up now? What's going on? Like, you guys, like, demons or shapeshifter things going on now? Like, I didn't get that kind of weirdo vibe from you before. I mean, I know that you can shapeshift, you're a druid, you guys do that thing, but, like, I'm hearing about, like, sludge or something coming out of you guys or something, and, like, grabbing at stuff and scaring the crap out of my friggin' guild members.
Do you want the concise summary again, or would you like them to explain?
I mean, I would like to understand what's being said to me.
We are not demonic.
Well, that's a good start.
We saved Osric. We fought a chain devil. Chain devil blew up in shards. Shards went into each of us. These shards became their own sentient thing, possessed items that we had, and now they're trying to take our new items.
Purified by CERN.
These three have decided to willingly accept that. I have a much more sentimental attachment to my staff and my own little tag-along, and not this tag-along, there's another one. Seems very eager, and when somebody who has been very closed off and not forthcoming with information is suddenly eager to consume a magical item, that's a red flag for me. Yes, I know, just don't make it more and more interesting every time you meet us.
You guys are the odd bunch. Okay, so... demonically possessed, but not demonically possessed. Cursed items, but not cursed items?
Correction. Devilishly possessed.
Okay.
And purified.
And purified. Purified devil. Item soul shard. Not cursed item things.
Technically, I'd still say they qualify as a cursed item. Some people seem to be more accepting of theirs.
Well, the remove curse spell does have interesting and now predictable effects, having been applied repeatedly in scientific analysis.
We've performed controlled experiments nightly. Okay. So, are you guys okay?
The magic is simply imprinted upon us.
Right.
That's all.
So... wait, so these items consumed your other items?
No, not yet.
More like merged.
Okay, so like I see your armor.
This is
and
Akabaris.
You can play with goo.
This is Akabaris. And I formed them all.
Okay, well that's a cool trick. He shifts his hand into a sword.
What's yours name?
Right.
Interesting name.
Left.
You have two symbiote. You have two things
They're
imprinted
in
on
my
you?
hands. I'm a bladeling.
For a demonstration, I believe that Neriah would have the most effectual means of demonstrating.
Chainmail bikini.
Yeah.
No, Mizr does that.
He does like the really tiny like triangles.
Like little tassels.
This wasn't what I was trying to do.
Yeah, I'll shift through like a few different like armor
Outfits and stuff.
outfits and whatever, yeah.
Okay, well that's pretty useful and nifty. Like, even when it looks like a dress, is it still armor?
He's kind of jealous.
Yeah,
now.
I'm just like, I'm a little freaking jealous right now. Like, I mean, I got metalish skin, but king, like, I can't.
So our undercover department has some job openings for like spies.
Would you like to be the ultimate infiltration unit?
Yeah, we launch her out of a catapult. and then
Okay,
she comes up and
and-
looks at somebody else.
And your item thing, like, now consumed your sword? Okay. So I assume your sword was magical. It seems to be like the motif I'm learning today. What did your sword do? Alright. You hear Alna kind of whisper like, let me take over, I'll show you a we'll give him a demonstration. So she doesn't like, she's not asking for like permission to like take over like your body or anything like that, but just like to like kind of like have free reign for a second. So again, like you shift between a couple different outfits, and we'll say like the one that you're currently on is like just some sort of form of armor, and all of a sudden like off your armored arm, the sword starts to like manifest, kind of like you've seen with his maul, start to manifest your hand, but it doesn't fully manifest the full sword. It starts to manifest just like the blade like around your hand, and then it fragments itself like the sword's ability is. But you're seeing like kind of like this little energy tendril between all of the shards, which before your armor could never separate itself. It always had to be in physical contact. Now it seems that at least by tether of this energy, it can actually separate itself physically from you. So it does end up, again, it goes into like the large blade, fractures itself into a bunch of pieces, still kind of like in the form of almost like a drill, and then slowly forms up like almost like a giant lance. You feel the handle kind of merge up out of the gauntlet into the sword handle. It reforms into your normal sword. And then you hear Alna whisper, and check this out. And all of a sudden a piece of the armor detaches itself from you. You still feel and see a little bit of like an energy kind of tether. But she, like, even though it doesn't seem overly impressive, you instantly realize like, oh, well, now I apparently have absorbed this skill via the sword that I can detach from myself. So like, out of game, like even though it's just kind of now occurring to me like for description is like almost more like Carnage is supposed to Venom. Like Venom can't separate his symbiote, but Carnage can actually manifest his and separate his kind of thing. Even though that wasn't what was going through my head at the time, I kind of realized how closely they are related.
I just picture in the future that her armor is going to basically save her life. It's going to like completely disconnect from her with just it's like I'm going to sacrifice myself to save you. It's going to be like, no, armor cheek.
So
kind of the Iron Man 3 vibe of like her like walking forward and the armor like assembling itself on her.
So Gilgamesh is thoroughly impressed. Okay, well that's just freaking cool. I mean, I'm not saying you don't have things that you might need to be concerned about. I don't really understand exactly everything that's going on here, but you definitely have some cool.
We are the
items
chosen ones, and we are saving the world.
Chosen ones, check. Okay. Chosen by who, what?
Destiny.
I don't know anybody named Destiny. Okay.
I heard she had a child.
Alright. So... Well, I mean, I'll tell everyone that you're good.
Appreciate that.
I'm gonna get this thing checked out. Might have to have the magic re-upped or something. I'm not 100% sure that to test it. Tell me that you are a pretty rabbit.
I am a pretty rabbit.
Alright, yeah, no, it's still working.
Well,
I can
if he-
turn into
as
a
long
pretty
as he
rabbit.
believes it, it's gonna read as true.
Oh, I could be.
Am I not? I thought that.
Alright, yeah. Well, good to see you guys again. No, yeah, that was a lie, I'm sorry.
Why does he keep poking his crotch every time Rhea says something?
I'm not talking to my dick, I swear.
He has his own
I
stuff.
needed a second opinion. It's the smartest guy I know. Gotta think with two heads over here. Well, so are you guys gonna be hanging out here? Is there anything else I can do for you? Have you decided what you want to do, where you need to go?
Phil will be heading for the Shimmering Forest.
Shimmering Forest.
I feel like with the blight on this land, the Brah should be perhaps helping more, and some ties between the two are long overdue. Perhaps I could bring a message as an ambassador for LowWater.
You're welcome to extend an olive branch. I mean, again, we are open to Brah. We've had several Brah in the guild. One of our founding members is Brah. Rowlor is he's an old bear now, but he's still has a seat at the table.
Well, perhaps I can compel them or help to send more help against the blight.
All right, yeah. If there's anything I can do to help with that, the diplomacy in the matter, just let me know. You'll have to. I can't think of anything, or I'd send it with you. But yeah, and I hope you find your family. That'd be cool, great. I mean, yeah,
It's been a long time.
Maybe don't tell them that you're demonically possessed right off the bat, but other than that, I think it'll be fine.
Third day.
That's third day material. So yeah, that's another episode of Darkhounds. I hope you all enjoyed, and we'll check you out again next time.
By the rod of Orcus, I think they're finally going to blow this popsicle stand. 3 cheers! Hip hip hooray! I look forward to seeing what sort of trouble these people can get into outside the safety of this disgusting tree town. I feel a fight in that future. Oh yes, a nice little bloodbath to sate my lust for blood. I can feel it. I know it. I want it. Give it to me.